Company culture and the emotions your people are experiencing in their work usually stand in the way of adopting change. So, how do you harness those emotions and create buy-in for change? Well, you give your organization a new model to thrive. And here to talk about that mindset, behavior, and the tools to grow through change is Cassandra Worthy, the author of Change Enthusiasm. Cassandra, welcome to the show.
What it do, Shep? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, here's the thing. I love you. I've heard about you. You really, since the right before COVID, you were working in a regular job as an engineer, I believe.
Chemical engineer.
Chemical engineer. Yeah. And then you said, I've had enough of this. There was a switch that flipped that said, I want to go consult and speak and tell the world about what to do right. You must have been experiencing wrong for you to feel that way.
Well, actually, it was a little bit different, right? So I spent 15 years working in more traditional roles of corporate, leveraging my degree in chemical engineering, but it was a lot of change that happened around me. Mm-hmm. I went through 2 major acquisitions, working in the consumer packaged goods industry, and I experienced that type of change that you feel like happens to you, that slaps you across the face and you're lying on the ground, can't get up, saying, I didn't ask for this, why? And I noticed not only when I was a leader leading organizations through integrations and change, but also as an employee with my management, that the emotions of change were being disregarded.
Yeah, that's the leadership part of it,
yes,
right? Yes,
weren't being embraced. And so I felt myself having these emotions and then my peers feeling them as well, with no real method or tools or processes to work through those emotions. And they were just kind of ignored. You know, leadership would say this is going to be tough, it's going to be challenging, but, you know, leave those emotions at the door. We got to get about the business of doing this change. And I thought to myself, there has to be a better way. And so this thing that I have cultivated in Change Enthusiasm was somewhat selfish when I started it because it was to help me.
Yeah, and that's the point. You said something was amiss here. You didn't like how you were feeling.
Yeah.
You say, I'm going to take this into my own hands. But you did more than that. You quit a majorly great job with a major company, and you decide, I'm going to go and do this on my own. By the way, right before COVID-19 hits.
Yeah.
So, you know, just getting started and boom, now we're shut down. You can't go on a stage and speak anywhere because nobody was allowed to travel. But here you are talking about change enthusiasm. So let's jump to what your definition of change enthusiasm is.
Sure. So often we're heard about the power and importance of a growth mindset. You need to have it when you're going through change to be agile, have a growth mindset. But seldomly we're told, what is it and how do you practice it? That's what I'm striving for in Change Enthusiasm. With my engineering mindset, I've created a very pragmatic structure for one to actually practice this mindset of growth. And there are 3 steps. I call them the signal, the opportunity, and the choice.
All right.
And the signal are these really difficult emotions that we face when we're going through change, like fear, like frustration, like anger. And when those emotions hit, Change Enthusiasm teaches us that they're gifts. They're signaling us into our greatest opportunities to grow. And that's the second step. You're trying to understand, how can I milk this opportunity for all it's worth? How can I learn? How can I evolve in this moment?
So before we go further,
sure,
there's an old saying, problems are really opportunities in disguise. And that's what you saw this as.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you get the signal, you can be bummed out about the signal, but you say, you know what? What about this signal can I take advantage of versus be depressed over?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's that third step, the choice, where you can transform that emotional energy. And I talk about transforming that signal emotion into fuel. Transforming anxiety of what's around the corner and all the negative that will befall you into anticipation of everything that you'll learn and how you'll grow. And the more that you practice these steps, rewiring the chemistry of your brain, you're going to be building your resilience muscle and really arming yourself to be change ready. So that no matter what change hits, when that signal emotion is there, I'm about to grow. I'm about to evolve.
Wow. So you do have to practice it. You said you practice.
Yes.
So when it happens to you, you need to be aware that it's happening, and you need to be consciously thinking of these 3, the signal, the opportunity, and the change.
And the choice.
And the choice.
The most important part, yes, the choice. And it's all in your power, right? It's all in your power. And that's what this is really seeking to do, to empower the individual who's going through that change to see there's opportunity in this moment for me. Not only to grow the business or the work that I'm doing, but to grow myself as an individual and as a leader. Yep. And it's a powerful thing. It's a powerful thing.
So I want to talk about the practice part of it.
Sure.
I mean, when I think of practice, I think I'm going to go on the golf course, I'm going to hit 1,000 balls. I'm going to go on the tennis court and return turn 100 serves, whatever it is.
Yeah.
How do we practice something like this?
Yeah.
First of all, it has to happen to us.
Yeah.
So we're actually practicing in real time.
Absolutely. Well, this is the beauty part about this and makes it evergreen. What's the only thing that's constant that you can depend on?
Change.
Change is the only thing that's constant, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to experience an infinite amount of change. Every time that change happens, those signal emotions are invited, it means, okay, I can practice change enthusiasm in this moment. I feel that signal emotion, and I'm in my moment of opportunity. And so you got to build that muscle, that muscle, that practice.
How do you know if you're practicing toward the right direction? I mean, it's like, does practice make perfect here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that it does. And I always tell people I'm the greatest student of this teaching because I'm one who is an eternal optimist. And often I have the danger of suppressing negative or difficult emotion. But this really faces those emotions head on. But yeah, it's all about practicing and embracing, acknowledging those emotions. And it really invites you to come to know yourself. Not only how those emotions manifest through you, but also where are you looking to grow? Where are you looking to evolve? And through practicing this mindset, when you're going through big disruption, you can identify, okay, here's what I really like, here's where my passions are, here's what I'm not so passionate about. And you'll come to see that all the really big changes that's thrown at you, it's never happening to you. It's always happening for you.
It's happening not to you, but for you.
Always.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Talk
I
to
want
me.
you to share with me the greatest nugget, the greatest takeaway. We get this book, Change Enthusiasm, which is available everywhere. Everywhere. What's the big nugget that we can learn?
The big nugget. The one thing I will share is that the emotions of change are real. They are undeniable. We are human, emotional beings. Whenever I hear folks say you have to leave emotion at the door of business, I say when you do that, you are leaving humanity at the door of business. And we cannot afford to do that if you want to remain competitive in whatever marketplace you are. So the emotions of change are real. Embrace them, acknowledge them in yourself, in your workforce, and give them the tools to leverage.
Powerful message. And for those that are having leaders that are struggling with the idea of how they lead through change, you might want to buy this gift for them. Change Enthusiasm.
You might want to.
All right. Cassandra, thanks for being on our show.
Thank you so much, Yep.
All right.
Cool.